peace and grace over your heart. Beloved child of God, you are not here by accident. You did not find this message by chance. This moment was arranged in heaven. The angels have drawn you here gently, because something sacred is unfolding around you now. Angels say, your soulmate went to God quietly, not with pride, not with demands, but with tears, with trembling faith, with a heart full of hope and fear mixed together. They did not ask God for perfection. They did not ask God for an easy love. They asked God for you. Yes, you. Before I go deeper, pause for a moment. If your spirit already feels stirred, subscribe now to Angels Say Prophecy, so you never miss what heaven releases next. And comment below a word that reflects your heart. I receive. I am ready. God, I trust you. Let your faith speak before your mind catches up. Angels say, your soulmate reached a breaking point in prayer, a moment when silence became too heavy, when pretending strength no longer worked. They went before God late at night, when no one could see them cry. They said, Lord, if this love is not from you, take it away. And then they said something that shocked heaven. They said, but if this love is from you, please protect them. They did not ask God to change you. They did not ask God to hurry you. They asked God to cover you. As it is written in Psalm 121:7, the Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. Your soulmate asked God to guard your heart, even when they could not be near you, even when distance separated you, even when timing hurt. Angels say, they asked God to heal you in places they could not reach, to comfort you in nights they could not hold you, to strengthen you where life had weakened you. And God listened. If this resonates, type, He heard them, in the comments. Your soulmate also asked God a question that made the angels pause. They asked, Lord, am I good enough to love them the way they deserve? This prayer was not selfish. It was surrendered. They were not asking to possess you. They were asking to become worthy of you. Scripture says in Proverbs 16:3, commit your works to the Lord, and your thoughts will be established. They committed their love to God because they were afraid of breaking you, afraid of repeating old cycles, afraid of loving you with wounds instead of wisdom. Angels say, this is why the delay happened, not because love was weak, but because God was refining them. Pause here. If you feel peace instead of fear, like the video, your agreement matters in the spiritual realm. Your soulmate asked God to slow them down. Yes, slow them down. They said, Lord, do not let me rush this. Do not let me enter their life unfinished. Habakkuk 2:3 says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it. Angels say, they accepted the wait, even when it hurt, even when it cost them sleep, even when it felt like losing you. They asked God to teach them patience, because they wanted forever, not a season. If you believe this love is being built correctly, comment, built by God. Your soulmate also asked God something deeply emotional, something they never said out loud to anyone else. They asked, Lord, if they have been hurt before, please don't let my love remind them of pain. This prayer shook the heavens. They are aware of your past wounds, even if they don't know the details. Their spirit senses it. Isaiah 42:3 says, a bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not quench. Your soulmate asked God to teach them gentleness, to love you softly, to speak carefully, to protect your trust like something holy. Angels say they would rather wait years than hurt you once. Before I continue, if this message is touching you deeply, support the channel with a super thanks. It helps us continue releasing what heaven speaks. Your soulmate asked God for confirmation too, not signs for ego, but peace in their spirit. They asked, Lord, if this is truly them, remove confusion from my heart. And slowly, God did. The anxiety lessened, the fear softened, the certainty grew quietly. Philippians 4-7 says, And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds. Angels say, this is why they stopped running, stopped entertaining distractions, stopped settling for substitutes. They already spoke your name in prayer. If you feel chills, type, My name was spoken. Your soulmate also asked God to protect the connection from jealousy, from interference, from spiritual attacks. They sensed that this love was significant, and significance attracts resistance. Ephesians 6:11 says, Put on the full armor of God. They prayed for covering over your mind, over your path, over your timing. They asked God to guard what had not yet begun. Angels say, this is not ordinary love. It is interceded love. Pause again. Subscribe to Angels. Say prophecy if you haven't, and comment a different word this time. Divine protection. Your soulmate asked God something that may make you cry. They said, Lord, if I never get to have them, please still bless them. This prayer was pure, selfless, painful. They surrendered the outcome, but not the love. Matthew 6:33 says, Seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added. Angels say, because they put God first. God did not take you away. God prepared the timing instead. And this preparation is still unfolding. Do not rush this message. Do not scroll away. Something deeper is coming. Your soulmate also asked God to prepare you, not to change who you are, but to help you recognize love when it arrives. They prayed that you would not mistake peace for boredom, that you would not confuse consistency with lack of passion, that you would not run from safety because chaos feels familiar. Romans 12:2 says, Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Angels say, this prayer is being answered right now. That is why you are here, listening, feeling, awakening. If your heart understands before your mind does, comment, I see it now. Angels say, what they asked God next was whispered through tears, not spoken loudly, not confidently, but honestly. They said, Lord, please don't let them give up on love before I arrive. This prayer was urgent because they sensed your weariness. They felt your disappointment. They knew your heart had grown tired of hoping. Isaiah 40:31 says, But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. Angels say, this is why strength is returning to you slowly. Not all at once, but gently, safely. Your soulmate asked God to restore your faith, not through words, but through experiences, through signs, through moments like this one. Pause here if you feel seen instead of exposed. Comment, God is restoring me. They asked God to remove false connections from their life too. People who looked right, but felt empty. Situations that distracted them, but didn't fulfill them. They asked God to strip away anything that would contaminate this love. John 15:2 says, Every branch that bears fruit he prunes. Angels say, pruning hurt them, but they accepted it because the fruit was worth it. They asked God to give them discipline, to say no when it was easier to say yes, to wait when temptation offered shortcuts. This is why they walked away from certain people, certain conversations, certain patterns, not because they became cold, but because they became focused. If you feel this truth settling in your chest, like the video now. Your soulmate also asked God to protect your meeting. Yes, your actual encounter. They asked, Lord, when we finally meet in the right way, please let it feel familiar, not forced. Genesis 2:23 says, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. Angels say, recognition will come before explanation. Peace will come before passion. Safety will come before fireworks. This is intentional. They ask God to let you feel safe enough to be yourself, not perform, not impress, not hide. And they ask God to help them show up healed, not bleeding into your life. If your heart feels calm instead of anxious hearing this, comment, safe love. Your soulmate asked God to align your paths, even if it meant detours, delays, or endings that didn't make sense at the time. Proverbs 3-6 says, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Angels say, this is why certain plans fell apart, certain timelines collapsed, certain doors closed abruptly. They were never meant to block you. They were meant to guide you. Your soulmate asked God to guard their mouth, so they would not speak from emotion, but from wisdom. They asked to be taught how to communicate, how to listen, how to apologize without pride. James 1:19 says, be quick to listen, slow to speak. Angels say, this is why they grew quieter, more reflective, less reactive. They were preparing to love you well. Pause again. Subscribe to Angels. Say prophecy if you haven't yet. And comment a new word, prepared love. Your soulmate asked God to help them forgive themselves for past mistakes, past choices, past versions of themselves, because they did not want guilt to follow them into your future. 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Angels say, they are becoming new, not perfect, but transformed. They asked God to teach them consistency, not intensity that burns out, but faithfulness that remains. This is why they stopped chasing highs and started building depth. If this love feels different than what you imagined, it is because it is healthier than what you survived. Your soulmate asked God to help them recognize the right moment, not too early, not too late. They said, Lord, please don't let fear make me miss them. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, he has made everything beautiful in its time. Angels say, timing is being protected. Your soulmate also asked God to soften your heart without breaking it open violently. They did not want to shock you. They wanted to arrive gently. That is why this message feels calm, not dramatic, not chaotic. This is divine order. If your spirit feels steady instead of rushed, comment divine timing. Angels say, they also ask God to heal what you never talked about. The quiet disappointments, the unanswered prayers, the moments you smiled but felt empty inside. They sensed there were layers in you, layers no one bothered to understand. And they asked God to help them love all of you, not just the easy parts. Psalm 147:3 says, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Angels say, some of your healing began without you realizing it, through rest, through distance from old pain, through moments of silence where God worked gently. Your soulmate asked God to protect your joy. They said, Lord, they have suffered enough. Please let joy come back naturally, not forced happiness, not temporary excitement, but lasting joy. If your heart feels lighter than it used to, comment, joy is returning. They also asked God to remove fear from you, fear of abandonment, fear of betrayal, fear of hoping again. 1 John 4:18 says, perfect love casts out fear. Angels say, this love was designed to calm you, not trigger you, to ground you, not confuse you. Your soulmate prayed that you would feel peace when they are near, not anxiety, not uncertainty. They asked God to let their presence feel like home. Angels say, home is not a place, it is safety. They asked God to prepare their actions, not just their words, because they knew words can deceive. But consistency reveals truth. Matthew 7:16 says, "You will know them by their fruits." Angels say, this is why they changed their habits, their priorities, their routines. They wanted their life to match their prayers. Pause here. If this message feels different than others you've heard, like it's quieter but deeper, like the video now, your soulmate asked God to help them be patient with your process, to not rush your healing, to not pressure your decisions. They said, "Lord, let me love them at their pace." Galatians 6-9 says, "Let us not grow weary while doing good." Angels say, this patience is rare, and it is intentional. They ask God to teach them humility, so they would not come into your life with ego, but with service. They wanted to add peace, not demand attention. Your soulmate also asked God to protect you from disappointment if expectations rose too high. They asked God to keep things grounded, honest, real. Angels say, this love is not fantasy. It is steady. If your heart longs for stability more than excitement, comment, "I choose peace." They ask God to help them recognize you in the right moment, even if you look different than they imagined, even if life had shaped you in unexpected ways. They prayed for spiritual recognition, not surface attraction alone. 1 Samuel 16-7 says, "The Lord looks at the heart." Angels say, they will recognize your spirit before your face. Your soulmate asked God to keep pride far away, to help them apologize when wrong, to choose understanding over winning arguments. They asked to be teachable. James 4-6 says, "God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble." Angels say, grace will surround this connection. Before I continue, subscribe to Angels, say prophecy if you haven't yet, and comment another word that reflects your heart right now. Grace, patience, trust. Your soulmate asked God to help them love you in public and in private, not hide you, not be unsure, not waver when tested. They asked God to give them courage. Joshua 1-9 says, "Be strong and courageous." Angels say, this courage is growing quietly. They also asked God to protect your union from comparison, from outside opinions, from voices that do not understand your journey. They asked God to keep your connection sacred. If you feel this love is meant to be protected, comment, "Sacred." Angels say, what they asked God next came from a place of surrender, not control, not impatience, but trust. They said, "Lord, teach me how to wait without growing bitter." This prayer mattered because waiting tested them. There were days they questioned everything, nights they almost gave up, yet they returned to prayer again and again. Lamentations 3:31 says, "For the Lord will not cast off forever." Angels say, every time they felt weak, God strengthened them quietly. They asked God to protect their heart from resentment, from jealousy, from comparison. They did not want wounds to spill into your future. If you feel gratitude instead of anger about your past now, comment, "He healed me." Your soulmate asked God to help them stay faithful in thought, not just in action. They wanted purity of intention. They prayed for self-control, for discernment, for clarity. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, "God is faithful. He will provide a way out." Angels say they chose the way out. Even when temptation was loud, they asked God to help them grow emotionally, to understand feelings instead of avoiding them, to express love without fear. This growth did not happen overnight. It required honesty, reflection, humility. Your soulmate asked God to remove fear of commitment. They wanted depth, not escape routes. If your heart longs for commitment rooted in God, comment, rooted. They asked God to help them support your calling, your dreams, your purpose. They said, Lord, let me never compete with what you placed in them. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for good. Angels say, this love will support your destiny, not distract you from it. Your soulmate asked God to help them listen more than they speak, to hear your heart beneath your words. They ask to be emotionally present, not distracted, not distant. Angels say, this is why they slowed their life down. Pause here. If you feel peace washing over you, like the video now. Your soulmate also asked God to help them trust you completely. God, not just the promise. They said, Lord, even if it doesn't happen the way I imagine, I trust you. This surrender changed everything. Psalm 37:5 says, commit your way to the Lord, trust in him. Angels say, because they trusted God with the outcome. God trusted them with the process. They asked God to remove anxiety about the future, to stay present, to walk one step at a time. This is why they stopped obsessing, stopped forcing, stopped chasing signs. They rested. If your soul feels calmer lately, comment, I am at rest. Your soulmate asked God to help them love you consistently, not just when it's easy, but when life is heavy. They prayed to be dependable, reliable, steady. Proverbs 20:6 says, a faithful person who can find. Angels say, faithfulness is being formed. They ask God to help them celebrate you, not criticize you, to uplift you, not shrink you. They prayed to see you as God sees you. If your spirit feels honored by this, comment, I am valued. Your soulmate asked God to protect your future conversations, to remove misunderstanding, to bring clarity. They asked God to help them speak truth in love. Ephesians 4:15 says, speaking the truth in love. Angels say, this is why peace will lead your communication. Before I go further, subscribe to Angels Say Prophecy if you haven't, and comment another word, peace, trust, faith. Angels say, what they asked God next was about legacy, not just love, not just union, but impact. They said, Lord, if this connection is real, let it glorify you. This prayer shifted everything. They were no longer asking only for happiness. They were asking for purpose. Matthew 5:16 says, let your light so shine before men. Angels say, they want a love that reflects God, a love that heals, a love that becomes a testimony. Your soulmate asked God to help them lead with integrity, to be someone you can trust with your future, your heart, your vulnerability. They ask to be emotionally safe, spiritually grounded. If your heart desires something deeper than romance, comment, purpose. They asked God to help them protect your peace, not disturb it, not disrupt it. They said, Lord, if I bring chaos, remove me. This was not a light prayer. It was serious. John 14:27 says, my peace I give to you. Angels say, peace is the confirmation. Your soulmate also asked God to prepare them for responsibility, for showing up daily, for choosing love even on ordinary days. They wanted longevity, not excitement that fades. They asked God to help them understand your emotions, even the ones you don't know how to explain. They prayed for emotional intelligence, for empathy, if you feel understood, even before being known. Comment, seen. Your soulmate asked God to heal generational patterns, cycles of broken relationships, fear of commitment, emotional distance. They did not want to repeat history. They wanted to rewrite it. 2 Corinthians 10:4 says, the weapons we fight with are not of the world. Angels say, Spiritual battles were fought for this love. They asked God to help them forgive people who hurt them, so bitterness would not travel with them into your life. Forgiveness was not easy, but it was necessary. If you sense cycles breaking around you, comment, "Cycles broken." Your soulmate asked God to protect you from disappointment if expectations rose too fast. They prayed for wisdom, for pacing. They did not want to rush intimacy. They wanted to build trust slowly. They asked God to help them respect your boundaries, your timing. This is rare, angels say. This is why God is involved. Your soulmate asked God to prepare the environment around you. The timing, the circumstances, the moment. They asked God to orchestrate what they could not control. Romans 11:36 says, "For from him and through him and to him are all things." Angels say, nothing is random. If your life feels like pieces are shifting quietly, comment, "Aligned." They ask God to help them remain faithful even if the weight felt unfair. To trust God's character, not just his promises. They ask God to teach them contentment while waiting. This is why they stopped chasing and started preparing. Pause here. If your heart feels steady, like the video now, your soulmate asked God to help them be present when you arrive, not distracted by the past, not fearful of the future. They wanted to meet you fully. They asked God to help them love you intentionally, daily, consistently. Colossians 3:14 says, "Above all, put on love." Angels say, love is being chosen. Your soulmate asked God to protect you from spiritual confusion, to sharpen your discernment. They prayed you would recognize truth when it stands before you. If your intuition feels stronger lately, comment, "Discernment." They asked God to keep ego far away, to keep humility near. They asked God to remind them that love is service, not ownership. Mark 10:45 says, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served." Angels say, this love will serve. Angels say, the final thing they asked God for was not about timing, was not about circumstances, was not even about the outcome. They asked God for obedience. They said, "Lord, if you tell me to step forward, I will. If you tell me to wait longer, I will. If you tell me to release them, I will." This was the moment heaven went silent, because this kind of prayer is rare. John 14:23 says, "Anyone who loves me will obey my teaching." Angels say, this is when God trusted them fully. They asked God to never let them choose fear over obedience, comfort over calling, control over faith. They asked God to help them act when the moment comes, not hesitate, not overthink, not retreat. And beloved, this is where you come in, because God has been preparing you too. Your discernment, your boundaries, your peace. That is why your standards changed, why chaos stopped feeling exciting, why your heart now desires safety more than intensity. God has been aligning both sides. Psalm 37:23 says, "The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord." Angels say, the steps are now ordered. Your soulmate did not ask God to rush this. They asked God to make it right. And God answered. If you have felt a quiet knowing lately, not excitement, not obsession, but calm assurance, that is confirmation. This love will not arrive loudly. It will arrive clearly. It will feel steady. It will feel respectful. It will feel safe. Before this message closes, seal it in faith. Subscribe now to Angels Say Prophecy, so you stay connected to what heaven continues to reveal. Comment one final word that represents your heart. I trust. I am ready. God's timing. And if this message blessed you deeply, give us super thanks. It helps this word reach the souls who are still waiting for hope. Angels say, what was prayed in secret is about to be answered in truth. Remain at peace. Remain grounded. Remain open, because heaven has heard every tear, every prayer, every quiet surrender. And nothing, absolutely nothing, was wasted